All right, good morning. We had a few glitches this morning on our first ever coffee chat. I know a few people were trying to get access to the Google document, the handout, and it wasn't set up right. So I'm learning as we go. This online space and all of these technical things, I'm learning lots as we go. So bear with me. You should be able to access that link now, and because I've opened up the sharing. So if you have the link, it should open. So good morning, coffee time. I'm Erin Gruitt, and I'm the owner of Sensational Path, and I'm the creator of the mobile sensory clinic. So I converted a bus. It was actually the Sunshine Village ski bus, a little hard to say, and I converted it into a sensory clinic. So if you haven't seen it, I'll do a little tour soon, but it's basically a playground inside. So there's swings. It's a sensory clinic. So inside there's swings and crash mats and things for kids to climb and play on and really develop their sensory motor skills. So this was a dream that I had for probably 10 years before I acted on it. I saw a picture of a bus similar to this in online, and at the time I was doing my sensory integration praxis test training, my certification, and I thought, oh, that would be really cool. But at the time I lived in Slovenia, and that didn't really fit in that model. So yeah, 2 years ago, I was at an awards dinner with my husband, and there was a presentation about an Alberta Treasury Branch booster campaign and what this was all about. And it's like a crowdfunding campaign, but it's also a way to validate your business idea. So I had this dream, and that's how I took it to the next level. So I joined the ATV booster, raised money, and I had to pay people back with their rewards that they purchased. But it gave me enough money to know that the idea was something that would be used in my community, and it gave me the confidence to kind of go ahead and do this dream. So that's what we're talking about today, is dreams. So big swig of coffee. I know there's probably lots of people watching this recording. So yeah, we're going to talk about dreams, and then if you would like to share anything with me, or if you have more questions, then you can reach out and send me some questions. Yeah, so I'm reading this book. If you have been following me on Instagram, you'll know that I'm kind of obsessed with this new book. It's Everything is Figure Outable. And so yesterday I was reading, and the section that I was reading was about dreams. And so I stopped to do the activity and then got this idea that wouldn't it be great to share this idea with more people, with you guys. So I made up a little picture and said, hey, join me for coffee, and here we are. That's kind of how I do things. I come up with an idea and then I go do it, but not always these big ideas. So check my notes. I also have a little funny note. So if we're talking about dreams, I told you a little bit about my story, but I didn't tell you what happened before I went to the awards dinner. So on that very same day of the awards dinner, this was the Chamber of Commerce Awards, on that very same day, I had gone in to work and given my notice to my boss. And I had, in my head, I was like, I'm quitting this job. I want something more. I had some contracts, and so I was going to go on and fill these contracts and see what else happened. And then this booster thing kind of caught my ears and my eyes, and I started talking about it. And if we talk about our reticular activating system, that was all I could think about. So that's like this little part of our brain that if we have an idea, we just sort of start thinking about it and start hearing it more. And that's all that's sort of at our forefront. So it's kind of like when you search for something on Google, or you click something on Facebook, and then that just pops up. So the other day I clicked on a dress that I liked, and now all I see is these dresses. So that's sort of like our RAS. Okay, so for me, that's what it was. I saw buses everywhere. I knew I had to go ahead and do this bus idea. But when I quit my job, I quit it because I wanted more time with my children. And that's not what happened, because I became an entrepreneur and I've been busy, and my children, I got to spend all summer with them, which was great. But anyways, let's jump into this, this activity. Now, I know there was an issue with the link, that you couldn't access the link, but it should be fixed now. And even if you don't have the link, you can do this just on a piece of paper. I just did it in my journal. So if we're talking about goals, we want to start figuring out what is it that we want, and what are our dreams. So grab your piece of paper and take 15 minutes. We're not going to do the 15 minutes right now, because that would be kind of boring, just me staring at you. But I want you to grab a piece of paper, and on that piece of paper, or on the handout that you downloaded, I want you to make a list of what you want in the next year. So it's your list of top 1 year dreams. So what are some things that you want to figure out this year? What are some things that you'd like? So this can be things that you want to change, want to start, want to stop, things you want to pursue. Maybe you have something you want to heal or transform, something you want to learn. What else? Things you want to experience, things you want to explore, who you want to become, what you want to create, what you want to achieve. So yeah, just make your list. Turn a timer on for 15 minutes. Start thinking about what is it that you really want, okay? If that's challenging for you, if you don't know what you want, if you're like, well, I want something more, but I don't know what that is, do some brainstorming. Really, maybe first meditate, so that you're like in a good creative space, you're turning off all your thinking, and then just, write this down. What I really want is, and just keep adding things to that. Don't think about it. Don't cross things out. What is it that you really want? So some of the things that I have on my list are to launch an online course, to either get a new house or renovate the current house. We've been talking about this for years, and sometimes you need to take action and not just keep talking. I want to hire an OT or an OT assistant, because I'm going to get that busy. I want to do some speaking engagements. I want to finish my EASI training and do my data collection. So I've signed up to do this, and I haven't committed the time to it. So I want to lose 20 pounds. Everybody always puts that on their list, and I hate putting that on my list, but it's true. And why I want to do this, and that's the next step of our little activity here, is how's it going to make you feel? Okay, so all these goals that you write down, after your 15 minutes, you might want to step away and then come back and do another 15 minutes. But what I want you to think about next is, how will it make you feel? So I didn't know actually how it would make me feel to have this bus that I've converted into a sensory clinic, but it was like this dream of mine, and I thought that it would make me feel pretty amazing, because it was a goal, a big, huge, audacious goal, and it was something that I really wanted to do, and I wanted to be able to help other people. So I was like, if I can do this, I can do anything. Like, I'm going to be empowered. And even when I drive the bus down the road, I'm like, driving the bus, and I'm pretty empowered when I'm doing that. So whatever it is that you're dreaming, how's it going to make you feel? Because sometimes we get sort of caught in now, and we're like, oh, I can't do that, I can't do that. And we get in these little funks. And we need to think about how something makes us feel. So if you're stuck in a space and you, I might be going off on a tangent here, but if you're stuck in a space and you're feeling like, I want something more, but I don't know, whether it's in your career or your marriage or whatever, how are you feeling now? And how will you feel when you make a change? Okay, so how will you feel when you achieve your dream? And why is it important to you? For me, it was important to achieve this dream because I wanted to be able to use my expertise in sensory integration. I wanted to help more children and families. I didn't want them to have to travel to a clinic an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours away. I wanted to be able to bring this service to their door. I also wanted to have a space when I got to my communities where I could work and feel comfortable, because I didn't always have a space to work, for one, and I didn't always have, I felt like I was in somebody else's office. So this gives me my office and my space. And so that was important to me, and it's still really important to me to be able to offer that service, to be able to help those kids in our community, because otherwise they have to drive to get to their appointments, and that's hard if they've already got a lot going on, right? So I might just leave you with that for today. So make your list of your top 1-year dreams, okay? And then go back and figure out how it will make you feel, and why is it important. So for me, how will I feel if I lose 20 pounds? To be quite honest, it might not change how I feel. It maybe isn't that important. I'd like to be healthier. I'd like my back not to hurt every morning when I get out of bed. But 20 pounds might not do that. Maybe I just need to get into a fitness routine and start moving a little bit more and take care of my back. But anyways, think about your goals. I would love to hear from you and hear what your goals are, what your dreams. I say goals, dreams. It's the same thing. What is your big dream? And maybe it's more than a year out, right? Maybe it takes some planning. I love talking about this stuff. I love figuring things out. Maybe that's why I love this book so much, but excuse me, my coffee's making me. So yeah, I love figuring things out. If this is something that you're like, I really want to nail this down, reach out to me. I would love to set up time. I have free 15-minute calls, and then if you want a little bit more, I have these clarity calls that you can sign up for, and I would love to sit down and talk to you, and I just invite you to reach out and let's try to help you get to where you want to be. This is your life, right? So no sense being stuck somewhere that you don't want to be. Let's figure out how to get you out of that. So thank you for joining me for our first coffee chat. I'm sorry about some of the glitches, but we're going to get that all worked out. So we'll see you next time.